Hi, welcome back. We are at the last outline of section 3, reviewing or writing the source of literature, and that's in chapter 3, research topic and literature review. In this outline, we're going to have a quick discussion on the idea of writing the literature. But before that, I would like to tell you that the material in this program does not actually really focus on the formal or the academic writing of literature. However, to complete the image, you may consider some important facts while you decide to prepare a draft for an official project. So if you would like to have a better and a complete guidelines on the right way of writing academic paper, there are out there a lot of good resources could guide you on that. So to start up with, I would like to tell you something. In any official final research in general, if this is the final image of your research, it should be like this. It must have sections, and that starts, for example, with the abstract. In second section, the introduction, and then you've got the method section, and then you've got the results, and then you got discussion, and of course the reference after all. So these are I think the most official way of writing a complete research. In any way, it could of course be also in the form of a book or usually an article in academic way. Now what we are discussing is how to write the literature, and I don't want you to be confused that this is not about writing the research or to write down the research. I'm talking about one particular section of the research, and actually it is somewhere between number 2 and 3. It should be small section called the literature review, and that exactly speaking about the historical existence of the problem if it has been done by previous work. So this particular section, or the literature review, usually it need some skills of writing it, and what I'm going to share with you right now is on how to write this particular section. I'm not talking about your final research in general. For example, in the introduction, I don't mean this introduction, I mean the introduction of your literature. You must identify general issues so that an appropriate context is provided for the rest of the review. The next thing, on the body of the section, you must maybe try to adopt a certain method to do organizing of the literature, because you're going to be looking at many different articles or books or different sources. That's the source of your literature, as we have discussed earlier. So maybe you can come up with a different grouping strategy. Maybe you can group the studies into subsection as qualitative or quantitative or purpose. Maybe you can, based on type of population, and then maybe you can create kind of a summary for each study or subgroup within the group, etc. And maybe finally you can provide kind of a strong signpost throughout each section, and then make a kind of summary on each of the finding on the literature in general. Finally, you need to make the conclusion of each of them, and that's by to summarize the results that have been found by those different literature sources, and to evaluate the current situation to link with your research problem, and then to point out the gaps or the inconsistency if it is in there, and why your research become valuable then. And of course, you don't forget to provide the full bibliographical details of the book or the journal. So we have come to the end of section 3, and on the next we're going to have a quick conclusion on what we have learned on this chapter. I will see you then.